All right, there we are. Good evening, everyone.
How's it going?
Pretty
I'm a
good.
little off to the side. It's okay though. It's okay.
I tried to move you about a little bit.
Jeff O says every day is Sunday now. That makes me think of the fact that my kids and I and my wife used to always would have a movie night like on Saturday nights when they were in school, and slowly every night has become movie night. and it's always around 7:30 or so. The kids will say, "Can tonight be movie night?" Every night. It's always the time when they're supposed to be going to sleep.
How's the audio balance? I haven't streamed in this room in a good several weeks, but I wanted to tonight.
Yeah, I mean it sounds good. Sounds good on my end, but I don't know what people on the stream are hearing.
I need to pause the stream to not eat up bandwidth. Coury is slightly loud. Coury, could you actually turn yourself down on your end? Because I have turned you down a bit over here.
Sure, that might be better. How's that? Might be better now.
How test?
Testing. What? Yeah.
Okay, we're probably.
I sound now. It sounds good. I can go a little bit lower if people want me to.
Yeah, I'm normally on. I've got this like thing that I carry around, whether I'm streaming upstairs or downstairs, that has my mixer on it, and it's got two microphones mounted on it. And normally, I'm on the other microphone, which has a longer gooseneck. So part of it might just be that this is a little further away from me. So I tried to turn it up a little bit.
Nice. Before the stream started, we had a $2 donation from Container 7. Thank you. It says an iTat is golden.
it is indeed golden. So I just randomly felt like I don't really want to start anything new because I've got like a number of games on my now playing on my backloggery that like a lot of my start on a stream and haven't finished yet, and my Trials of Mana is late. It should have gotten here Friday, but it did not. So I'm guessing I'll hopefully get it tomorrow. But you know, I kind of want to dedicate to that over the next couple of weeks, and so I didn't feel like starting something new to just add another game that I may finish, may not tonight. So I thought I'm just gonna play an old favorite.
Yeah, so I think that's something we've talked about doing a lot more on the streams. It's like not always something where we kind of fumble through it for the first time, but also just old favorites and stuff we haven't replayed in a long time.
Yeah, so I was just
we're gonna get some blazing hot Bond movie opinions. It looks like in the chat.
Well, I mean,
Grodzicki. Sorry if I butchered your name there. Saying Moonraker is the best Bond movie.
I don't know if that's being sarcastic because I feel like that's a pretty unpopular opinion, but you know, I don't know.
I do agree with Vanessa. though. The Living Daylights is my favorite.
Living Daylights is way up there. I think Timothy Dalton is severely underrated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, License to Kill isn't as good as Living Daylights, but Living Daylights is awesome.
Yeah. We got 5 reals from Pedroca Severo. Thank you. Saying handhelds on the big screen episode. Maybe. Pretty please. I could see that being a thing.
Yeah, I mean we've already got pretty significant stuff regarding Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. There's really 2 episodes. There's the Game Boy RGB 200 level episode, which has a ton of stuff. The GBI stuff is a little out of date.
On 1 million views.
1 million views. Wow. The GBI
Last time I looked, it was at 915,000.
The GBI stuff is a little out of date in that, but the last year we did a why am I drawing a blank on what it's called? The GBA Consolizer,
Mhm.
which is kind of my go-to way for a lot of the, like, pretty much anything that's not Super Game Boy enhanced is kind of, that's how I'm playing Game Boy now. But I have for a really long time wanted to do a PSP and Vita episode, and it sounds like some of the soft mod stuff on the PSTV has got some cool scaling options now. So that's something we definitely need to prioritize. And Game Gear, we need to do that video about the. We need to do a mini on the cartridge adapters for the Mega SG. For sure.
Yes. I mean, we have a lot of stuff. I'm the controllers video that I've been working on will be out this week. I'm planning on doing some editing streams to finish it out starting tomorrow. So keep an eye on the Twitch channel, because I'm gonna be doing that, and that's gonna be a lot of B-roll for that, because I've been back and forth. So it'll be more exciting, I think, than the previous one.
Right. Well,
but that it's turning out to be, it's gonna be about an hour, so 55 minutes right now. Could go a little. All right, so we'll see what happens now.
I lowered the I'll lower the bit rate a bit.
Yeah, it's not our fault.
I mean, it could be. I mean, it could just be my internet being crappy.
Yeah.
This seems to happen with me more often than you. Go ahead and get going. Just to kind of show. So this N64 Advanced mod, I have to admit, I did not know about this until like maybe a month or so ago. And obviously, it's something I should have been aware of, but must have not been paying close enough attention. So the N64 Advanced mod is an RGB mod designed by Borty, who people might know. Borty kind of implemented the de-blur on the Tim Worthington RGB mod for N64. And this is kind of Borty's from the ground up version of the RGB mod, his own completely original mod. So if you hit RL right C and D-pad right, just the same as the Ultra HDMI. And this, by the way, is not mine. This came to me via Bob of Retro RGB, but it's actually Wes's from Second Opinion Games. It's his, so I'm just borrowing this for a little while. Mostly because Bob kind of had this idea to do a video sort of experimenting with different types of N64 blur and de-blur. And like if you introduce more blur with, say, a RetroTink or something like that. And I thought it sounded really interesting. So Bob and I are going to... Sandy, what are you looking at? So Bob and I are going to do a MLiG Mini on that at some point. Yeah, so I just figured why not stream on here tonight. So it's interesting. It has what you would expect: N64 RGB and de-blur. See, I've got de-blur on, but I can of course turn it off. You're not really because I'm in the watch menu. You're not going to see a lot of difference because I'm constantly like going back and forth. But check this out. Okay, we're outputting 240p. It actually has a built-in line multiplier. So right now it's just outputting 240p. But if I do this, I've done this before. Why?
It's freaking out on the. On
Yeah, well, it is on my PVM too. I had this working. Oops. This was working. I don't know. Is it a sync thing?
I don't know.
Miscellaneous. I just wanted to show because it's pretty cool. RGBS. Oh, see, you can actually do YPBPR. I guess you could make your own YPBPR cable if you didn't have an HD Retrovision one, or you could do YPBPR via SCART, which is kind of interesting. Like, yeah. I can actually, maybe this would be the easier way to do it. Because I'm on the OSSC, if I change the OSSC to detect YPBPR, there you go. Now it's looking at YPBPR, and then
yeah.
Yeah. What? I need to learn more about how this works. Oh, maybe this is what I needed. RGBS and RGBSB, maybe? No. Oh, there it goes. Or at least on the PVM. Maybe if I change to RGSB. There. What?
you had it for a second. Like, maybe. Is this how new is this? I saw that Joshua Helmicke in the chat said that he has this. I'm not sure on what is the price on it. Do you know?
Well, I did buy a board. I forget what I paid for it, though, to be honest. But I bought a board like right as things were like starting to lock down, because I was like, ooh,
now the stream died again. I hope it's not. I mean, I feel like it's. I feel like it's got to be a YouTube issue. But now we're back and I'm in auto to 1080p 60.
Huh? Well, that's something.
So what did Bob Cornwall said that it's 109.99 euros. And then the video output is low again. I don't know what's going on with the stream. Like, it can't be.
I mean, I paused syncing, you know, to stuff. Oh, Joshua Helmicke, you hit RL, D-pad right, and C right to do the menu. I wonder if it's almost an issue with me outputting to the I mean, you wouldn't think so, but you know, OSSC and PVM at the same time. But
that's weird.
You wouldn't think it would be an issue.
You'd have to switch to. Is there a pass through mode?
What do you mean?
I mean, if you're going to the OSSC, right? So why don't you just hit like 1 so it just passes through?
Oh, I mean it is. I mean it's. But I don't know why. I was having no problem previously with the 480p just straight to the 20L5. But you know, I have not played a whole lot. But anyway, what is cool about this, at least when it did work, is that you can do 480p and 720p through your analog output on the N64, and you can even have artificial scan lines and stuff. So it's kind of crazy. You know, you can, of course, though, with just the regular Tim Worthington, though, do 240p RGB with deblur. So if you're already using like an OSSC for 480p and 720p and whatever, that might not be that exciting, but it is interesting that that's an option. So
we had a $2 donation from Chris. Thank you. He says, I'm guessing you're not using the 16:9 mode in GoldenEye.
I'm not. I have at times sort of tended toward doing that, but I especially since I'm playing on my PVM, I prefer to fill the screen. I assume widescreen probably impacts performance as well. I guess I could lower the stream to 30 frames per second, although I doubt that would really help. But
I mean, it seems to be okay for now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like this game could take advantage of it really. But
yeah.
One thing that I've noticed in GoldenEye specifically that's interesting. Let's see if we're gonna play on Secret Agent tonight, just because. Okay, here's some text. So, if you look at the text underneath the menu, that you can see a bit. If I go, oops. So if I have deblur off and then go to on, this is like the one place where on the N64 where I've personally found that something looks much clearer when deblur is off. Aside from maybe there are some games that aren't 320 pixels wide that have that you don't want deblur on because it's screwed up. But the text in the GoldenEye menus, for some reason, just looks significantly clearer with the natural blur. I don't know. Can you tell on the stream?
I mean, I don't have it full screen, so I can't. Oh yeah, I can see it shifting a little bit. Yeah.
Well, when I turn it on and off, it's just that, like, if you look at like this facility should, and you look at like the capital T and the S should.
Yeah. No, I just made it full screen for a second there.
Like those letters, just like I guess the way they're sampled,
right?
They just look a lot clearer. I mean, I guess it's possible the GoldenEye menu might use a non-standard resolution, and maybe that's why it looks that way. But the text just looks a lot better with deblur off. But I like deblur on in general, so I have deblur on.
What's the menu again? The menu shortcut's the same as the Ultra HDMI.
RL, D-pad right, and C right. Exactly the same as Ultra HDMI.
So R and L, right, D-pad right, and C right. Jared White was asking if we've ever met any of the James Bond actors.
No.
Me either.
Can't say I have. But I mean, this game is what got me. This game is what got me watching the Bond movies in the first place.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was.
I guess that would make sense. I mean, I saw the first one I saw in the theater was The Living Dead, so maybe that's one of the reasons I like it so much.
I mean, you're older than I am too. I mean,
right. And my brother, was the one that got me into it.
I was like almost 13 when this game came out. So, my friend who got this game originally, he, it's so weird, like actually trying to play like normally in this. Because I'm usually just like playing on 007 mode where you can like tweak the, you know, normally I'm making it super easy because I'm just like capturing footage or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, he had
Luke, the video gamers is amazed that I am older than you. I'm like a good bit older than you.
Really?
Well, Luke, the video gamer, says, "Wait, Coury is older than Try." I thought it was the other way around.
You're a fair bit older than me. I don't know whether that speaks well to you or poorly to me, but I mean, I'm not a good judge of age myself.
If I had hair, it would be like it's definitely gray-ish if I let it grow out. When I've cut my hair and I've like cut the hair on my face, like the hair on my face is like one color, and then like the pile of like the hair that I that buzzed off my head is it's grayish, but you can't tell. But yeah, I mean, I'm 41.
And I am 35, I think. Yes. It's one of those things you have to think about these days, you know?
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I was watching this old home video of my brother's 17th birthday from 1991. Okay. So I was watching this video, and that summer, before it was filmed, we had just gotten a bunch of work done on the house. My mom had just we just got like new siding on it and stuff. And my grandpa shows up in the video, and they're looking at the side of the house. My mom is showing what was done to it. Anyways, it occurred to me when I was watching that is that my mom in that video is 42.
Wow.
And it's just like, it's kind of mind blowing, especially the fact that, you know, I didn't have kids until I was a bit older anyways. So, I mean, I can't imagine being the age that I am and having a 17-year-old. Like, that is crazy. It sounds crazy to me, but I mean, that's like normal, really.
This gate right here, I don't remember that at all. That's so weird. I haven't gone inside this little room in years.
Oh, $2 donation from Mitch B. Thank you, saying.
Oh no, was that bad? Or no, it does. I guess it doesn't matter for Secret Agent. I forget all the objectives of.
Okay, now it looks like it's coming back.
I just killed Ken Lobb.
Yeah. David Duke says you shouldn't have destroyed that satellite uplink. I'm gonna say that okay, really quick. There was a $2 donation from Mitch B saying Goldfinger is the best Bond villain.
He's certainly a classic. I've been itching to watch Goldfinger lately.
Yeah. And we also got a 10 Canadian dollars from Metal Ninja Jesus.
Wow, thank you.
Saying, I love both and hate new mods that bring out the best retro game. I feel like getting a second N64 with RGB to my OSSC, wishing the Ultra HDMI handle interlace better. Retro gaming is expensive. And that is the unfortunate situation, I guess. Like, is that there's always stuff being worked on, it feels like. And then sometimes I feel like, and I joke about it, I say, like, it's always something.
You familiar with the legends of this island that I'm playing at here?
No.
I mean, there's just like, on the other side of the lake is, you can just see like another like base installation out here. And, you know, it's just one of those things, you know, people always like, are like, oh, like there's got to be a way to get there. But there's not, of course.
Yeah. What I should make it a point to watch through a lot of the Bond movies that I've not seen in a long time, because it's been a long time since I've seen many of them.
Yeah, same. I mean, so my friend that got this game, I don't think I finished my story earlier. He, when we were kind of getting into the game, he had a VHS copy of You Only Live Twice, which I feel that's a good one to start with. So yeah, we watched that a bunch, and then he soon after got a VHS of GoldenEye, and we watched that. And over the years, he got a complete VHS Bond collection, which I, just buy one at a time, which I wish, that's something I wish I had today, I've got the Blu-ray set, and at one point I had most of them on DVD. But, a VHS set would just be so cool, because I have a huge amount of nostalgia for it, because we just watched them all the time. There were a couple that we probably only watched once or twice, but, whenever I went over to his house, we almost always put in one of his Bond VHS.
Paul Bergkamp says, the bottom portion of the sniper rifle always reminded me of a corn dog. I definitely see it. Well, the KF7 Soviet, I always thought looked like a pencil. Like, it looks like a black pencil to me. But if you pause the game, it's like, oh, it looks like a normal, Soviet rifle or whatever. But then, from your first person perspective, it looks weird to me. Where is Sean Wilson? We do stream on Twitch every once in a while. It's more casual. So I would say that we probably stream here a lot more.
Oh, you wouldn't just say, we definitely do.
We definitely do, yes.
It's just because our audience is on YouTube. So many more people come to our streams on YouTube compared to Twitch, just because people get notifications on YouTube.
Right, exactly. And we've been doing this on YouTube for over 5 years at this point, almost every week.
It's very established.
Yeah. We had a $10 from Craig Wan. Thank you.
Wow.
Saying, before I start, you two still look young for your ages, and try You're My Age. Anyway, name one or two of your favorite 007 films and why they are. Mine are Goldfinger and From Russia with Love.
I'm not a huge fan of From Russia with Love. It has a problem that a lot of movies from that era have, I feel, where it's just they don't have what is kind of become accepted conventions of movie pacing and stuff like that.
Right.
And the ending is very weird. It's just it just ends all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I definitely love Goldfinger, Living Daylights, You Only Live Twice. A lot of only You Only Live Twice is because it was the first one that I saw. I like GoldenEye a lot. GoldenEye is definitely the best Pierce Brosnan by a long shot.
Yeah.
I really like Casino Royale.
Casino Royale, it might be silly to say that because he's still Bond is Daniel Craig, but Casino Royale is top 5, easy.
Yeah, Casino Royale is pretty amazing.
3 for me. It's just a really, really solid movie. And I maybe my favorite theme, like with a View to a Kill being close second. Well, what you're thinking about it? There was a $2 donation from Show saying, "What's Try's favorite weapon in GoldenEye?" What is your favorite weapon?
Maybe the RCP-90. I mean, that was probably my favorite back in the day. The Moonraker laser is always a lot of fun, though.
What is your favorite color?
I also really like Skyfall. Skyfall is pretty great. The unfortunate thing with the Daniel Craig movies, I feel, is that they've been a little uneven.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, you've got two of, I think, the most amazing movies, and like two of the weaker ones.
Yeah. We had a $5 donation from CJ. Those are my first two initials too. Asking, when do you guys think we will see an N64 FPGA? Thank you. I don't know. I mean, I would like to think that it'd be soonish, but I think we'll definitely see PS1 like way before.
Oh yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be some years. That's just me randomly guessing. I always love this little no secret agent side.
I should make it a point to move through, like rewatch all the Bond movies, because I have the Blu-ray set here. And I could just put them on.
You know, something weird about, talking about favorite Bond movies, the only one with George Lazenby on Her Majesty's Secret Service, that is maybe the one I've seen the fewest times. Like, I've seen it no more than 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember years ago hearing that it was like a very common, like, hardcore Bond fan favorite.
Yeah.
And I didn't remember really having much of an opinion on it one way or the other. And then in more recent years, I feel like I don't hear people say that anymore. So maybe I was mistaken or just heard that from one place and for whatever reason thought that was a common opinion that actually wasn't at all. I've no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. These gadgets you have to go into your watch.
I think that one of my favorites is For Your Eyes Only. One of my favorites.
Is that the one with the Greek guy that's always eating pistachios?
I don't know. I just remember like the skiing stuff in it. I remember I've seen it. But
Oh, is that the one? Wait, no, I think I'm gay. Now I think I'm gay. Oh yeah. It's got like that blonde girl. Or is it? I think I'm now getting that confused with Living Daylights, because Living Daylights has like the part where he's like riding on the back of the violin case.
Oh yeah, that's not Living Daylights. As far as I know. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen a lot of them. So
can I blow Can I blow these up now?
We had a $2 donation from Jonathan Hinson saying, in an effort to balance accuracy and convenience, how often do you guys use wireless controllers for retro gaming? Real hardware and FPGA. To be honest, as it is right now, I basically use wireless controllers for like regular playing all the time.
I don't
I
much
would
right
use
now.
like wired controllers more often while I was doing this video that's coming out. But I mean, they're just very, very convenient. Although like my new setup in this house, I can have wire, like it's not a hassle to have wires because it's just like right there. But for it's just convenient to be able to grab something like a controller and just use it. If possible, I will use 2.4 gigahertz controllers. That's why I'm excited about the 8-bit DO 2.4 gigahertz SNES and NES.
I think I'll use them a lot more often once those are out. Like right now, like the M30 is the only wireless controller that I'm using like a whole lot of, just because I like the feel.
Well, how did you feel about that Saturn controller?
I mean, I haven't used it a whole lot, but like the Saturn is like literally right in front of me.
Right.
It's like it's one of the closest systems in my setup, so I just don't have a lot of reason to use it, to be honest.
I really like the Retrode Saturn.
I mean, if I had another Saturn, I would absolutely use it. Right now, I'm using the wireless controllers more, maybe I guess with like some of my extra systems set up on the side that I use like S-Video and Composite with and stuff. Well, like for my main systems, I'm mostly using wired controllers right now, but I do think that I will use those 8-bit DO controllers a lot.
We had a $5 donation from Crusher Bad 64. Thank you. Saying I used one of my I've seen this name around and I think it's just such a funny looking name and sounding name. I use the Kusys SCART RGB to HDMI for my Atari Jaguar, and it has S-Video input, so I use the N64, and I think it looks better than using the Super 64.
We've never gotten to use a Super 64.
Yeah, I mean, so it's got to be all about that Kusys. Kusys. But yeah, we have. I mean, that's for people who might be into it. I mean, that's a good point, I guess. But I mean, I have no idea what the Super 64 even looks like. I've never used one.
I mean, I imagine it's quite similar to the RetroTink.
Yeah.
It's so weird it's so weird playing this on Secret Agent, because like normally I'm just like I say, recording footage or maybe playing. Oh yeah, I totally forgot there's a tank in this level.
Can you get in it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've beaten this game, but I do not remember anything about it.
The sounds when you roll over guys is like the most amazing thing.
Is it cartoonish, or what's it like?
You just hear splat, squish, crunch. Oh man!
Now the stream is spinning again. I wonder.
Trouble. Gonna make it? That's weird, just because I don't know like the Secret Agent objectives nearly as well as the Agent difficulty objectives. Because I just didn't, normally when I play this game, I'm just in for a quick little bit of fun. So that's why I wanted to challenge myself a little, go into some corners of the game that I'm not used to doing.
We got a $1.99 donation from Elizabeth Smith.
Thank you.
Saying Rare should have made Perfect Dark a GameCube launch game. That is a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's so interesting about
people were just waiting for it for so long though. That would have been unacceptable probably.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see if they like could have made a like an enhanced port of it for launch though. I never really thought about that.
It's amazing to me that how little that game is playable without the expansion.
Well, pack. I mean, it's kind of been more of an issue recently since I have like extra N64s that don't have expansion packs. You know, and like for example, the one that like I connect with S Video is you start with a that's right. I thought you started with a sniper rifle at this level. But it's interesting because like Rare was never known for pushing good frame rates on N64, and especially by the end of the generation, they had really.
Maybe you should try the alternate server.
Maybe. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's back now though. Yeah, but it's spotty.
Yeah, you want to try the alternate?
Okay. I'm trying the alternate YouTube server now, so
see if that's any better.
Yeah.
I see Paul Sutton's in the chat saying, had to smack down some Dark Falls loser. Did I miss the part where Coury promises the next first-party controller video should be up this week yet?
All right. We're back on the primary server with a still lower bitrate. Yeah, I mean, how much bitrate does GoldenEye really need?
Yeah, not only that, but I mean, it's not, it's just never happens like this. I mean, we've maybe had it die like here and there, but it's always one time every few months at the most. But what happened this week and why the episode did not get done is on Monday it kind of set the precedent. There was like a big crisis at my wife's work, and I feel like it threw everything out of sorts.
It probably left her so busy that you had to look after the kids even more.
Well, I mean, as much as I normally do, I guess. I mean, they've been down here a lot with me. But I set up the Wii U for them, and they've been having a good time with it. I'll tell you, like they are like I put it in Smash for them, and they just kind of do their own thing, where they don't even understand how to really play it at all. It's just having fun with it. Mm. And they just think it is the most fun thing when new characters appear. Because like a lot of times they won't know who they are, but other times it'll be somebody they know and they get really, really excited about it. So, I mean, they've been hanging out down here a lot doing that. But that sent that sent everything out of control, I guess. Like early on, it set the precedent for the week. Oh, we got a new member, McNugget Fiend.
That's a fantastic name.
Yeah.
I was very excited today to get a new villager in Animal Crossing. Her name is Frida, and she's a sheep, and she wears a hamburger hat and a hot dog shirt, and her wool literally looks like French fries. And it's amazing.
We got $2 from UE15 saying thanks for the content. Greetings from NesDev.
Ah, well,
Thank
look out for Analog Frontiers Part 4, which, you know, yes, I know Part 2 is still not out, but Part 4 will have a good bit of NesDev stuff in it. And I think Part 5 will as well.
But yeah, I mean, the kids, and what's really funny is, so the kids are playing on this tiny little LCD that I have. It's got to be like 15 inches or something like that.
Isn't this how you get in?
And they've gotten down all the amiibos, and they have like created this line where they like pick their favorite amiibos, and they're on each side of the screen, on each side of the TV. It's kind of funny, and they've taken this big sleeping bag and sprawled it all over the floor, so they have pillows and everything. And they're just like laying down there playing it. It's kind of awesome. We got a $10 donation from Steven the Project. Thank you. It says my Super 64 stopped working, so I switched to S Video with my RetroTink 2X Pro. Thank you for your content.
Well, thank you.
Just saying 0 still.
Yeah. Oh, now it's sort of back. Oh, there's the exit.
I mean, I feel like it's got to be YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, now while I'm streaming is not the time to do a speed test.
But you should see it. You should just try it just to see what it says.
I mean, usually it's pretty bad when you're streaming.
Yeah. Sorry, it's happening like this, everybody.
I mean, there's only so much you can do about internet problems.
Do these streams get archived anywhere? And they do. If you go to the front page of the channel, you will see a whole section called I've recently reorganized the front page of the channel. There's a section called live stream archives, video logs, and bonus material, and you'll see the live stream archive there that has a full playlist of 256 live stream episodes for you to watch.
I mean, I've got over 90 down and about 20 up, so I mean, I don't think it's me.
Right.
I don't think it's me. So if it happens again and is a real problem, maybe I'll try reducing it to 30 frames, but I don't know if that'll actually help or not.
Yeah. I mean, because it seems like it's not even like stuttering. It seems like it's just like hard stop every time.
Yeah, I don't know. What were your thoughts on Spectre? I don't know if we ever really discussed it.
I don't remember anything about it.
I thought it was a big disappointment coming from the same director as Skyfall.
Well, it seemed like he didn't really even want to make it.
Yeah, that was definitely the impression I got. What's interesting about it, though, like, you know, you and I have talked a lot about how Skyfall is just like such a good-looking movie.
Oh yeah, because of the DP.
Yeah, and it was a different DP in Spectre, and you know, it's not nearly as good-looking of a movie, but it was shot on film, which is cool on principle. but
we got a
just killed Ken Lob again.
we got a $5 donation from Mitch B saying, "Try. How are you liking Animal Crossing? Is it New Horizons? New Horizons?
New Horizons. Yep.
Thank you for letting me visit week 1.
Oh yeah.
The ladder.
I mean, I've played a little almost every day. I mean, it's excellent. I don't know if I've ever felt quite so compelled by an Animal Crossing game. I mean, it's really good. I mean, I think the fact that you can decorate outside makes all the difference in the world. Like it kind of becomes much more of like a sort of a town building sim than the other games are, I feel, just because you have so much control over where houses are, where buildings are. You can add paths. It's just shoot.
Matthew Lang, I think you're getting us confused with My Retro Life, the series, which used to be iRetro Gamer, and then the series is called My Retro Life on. What channel is it on now? I can't think of it, but it's. He was saying, "I love the episodes you've done with your dad's video recorder. It reminds me of when I came home in '96 to Genesis and Echo the Dolphin." Oh yes, it's on with the Pixel Game Squad, the Retro Liberty guys, like their new channel, Pixel Game Squad. Yes.
I forget if it's this level or Bunker 2, but there's like one of these levels has like near infinite guards or possibly infinite guards, and I remember this was one of my
trying to get it to slow down as much as you could.
Well, I remember. Well, one of my friends, this was like his favorite level because you just could have like a near endless stream of guys. Yeah, you can definitely get this level to slow down a lot.
We had a $4.99 from Sean Quinn.
Oh, thank you.
I came into the stream late because I was giving myself a quarantine haircut. What are both of your plans? Well, I certainly have no problem.
Yeah, you cut your own hair because there's no finesse to it.
I am wondering what you're gonna do because I was noticing, like, when you're on camera for this next episode, it's like
I
disheveled.
Well, I mean, I've used like the trimmer on my razor to, get the parts that were curling around my ears like pared back a bit, and the part that flops in front of my face too much. So I have pared it back a little bit, but I mean, I have no plans to like do anything remotely attempting a full proper haircut. Just kind of get rid of the worst parts. Oh my gosh, do these guys stop coming?
Now your audio is much louder. I think it doesn't matter.
I'm louder to you?
No. Someone was saying.
Like all of a sudden? Or
no, I don't think it is. Let's see. There was just a comment that I wanted to read. Oh, Emperor Ernest was saying, "Dang, try no auto aim, and you're playing on hard mode."
What? I have auto
pretty
aim.
good at
I mean, I'm using default default settings or controls. I don't think I have auto aim off. Let me look.
We had a
Auto aim on, yeah.
we had a $5 from Christopher Miller.
First death.
Saying thoughts on GoldenEye remake for the Xbox 360.
I
I have it, but I haven't played it. You have it too, don't you?
mean,
PS3 version.
right?
Right?
I mean, I got the Wii. It was originally for Wii. So I think of it as a Wii game first and foremost. I played through it on the Wii. And
Talking about that Wii.
okay, I'm restarting. I totally botched that. I mean, it was definitely interesting. I mean, obviously it's a totally different kind of game, but I enjoyed the approach it took, where it like radically reimagined it as a Daniel Craig
right
Bond story. Like it was it was the right way to do it. I thought it was very interesting. You know, in terms of gameplay, obviously a very different game. But I thought it was enjoyable in its own way. I've not played through the PS4 version or PS3 because I actually just got that last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I got it just because I do think it's interesting. It has move support.
Jacob Matsilla is saying, I hope the MGM, Microsoft, and Nintendo could do a GoldenEye remaster for Xbox One and Nintendo Switch and PC in time for No Time to Die. Isn't there a rumor that there was a remaster already completed?
I mean, I don't think it's really a rumor. I mean,
to do it.
I think it's pretty accepted fact. I don't know the details on what the proof is, but I mean, apparently it was very much going to happen as far as I understand, but there's a lot of details about it I don't know. I thought it was the biggest deal that Perfect Dark had reload animations. I mean, I know other games had reload animations. I don't think it was the first, but oops. Oh, please don't see me. I do not want to have the endless stream of guys again.
Yeah, the remake is pretty good. I haven't played very far into it, though. I've never played all the way through it. I do remember when it came out, though. I worked at Electronics Boutique when it came out.
Really? You worked at EB that late? When that came out?
Yeah.
I know you were working at EB during the Wii era.
No. I was talking about Perfect Dark. And Newport.
So there's a glitch in this level that's really fun. If you use cheat codes to bring the remote mines into the level, and you put a mine on all 8 of these hanging monitors, it will cause any object that you throw to be just suspended in air. And that also includes rockets from a rocket launcher. I should do it before the stream is over just because it's fun.
We had a $5 donation from Ethan Black saying, thank you. Thank you, guys, for everything you do and putting out positive content. What's your thoughts on the new PS5 controller? I think it looks pretty cool. I mean, like a lot of people don't really care for the colors.
Yeah, the color scheme is bad, but I feel like it
I don't
could look.
particularly have a problem with the color scheme. I like the white color, you know, and what is it, like white and blue?
It's
It
white
doesn't
and
really
black. That's what
But
I
it
don't
is.
like. Like it's just too. It's. I don't like it.
But seeing that and that being
What?
the die again. The dead again. Oh, okay. Well, it didn't die that time.
It's got to be YouTube's problem.
Yeah. But that has me wondering if the first or if the launch console is not going to be just like a black console.
Mm.
If that's the main one they're showing off.
Yeah, I guess their design language for the PS5 could possibly be, a two-tone thing, which I would appreciate. That would be nice.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I still don't like the black and white. I would prefer a more subtle contrast, like black and gray or white and gray, or that stark contrast just looks unappealing to me for some reason.
But I think that it's going to be. I think it's going to be comfortable to use.
Oh, sure. I kind of like how the PS4 handles are just round. No like shape to it particularly. I always thought it was pretty comfortable, I guess. Whereas it definitely seems like they're going away from that to a much more Xbox-like shape overall.
For Love of the Game says every PlayStation console needs a PS1 variant, and you're not wrong. You got that gray.
Oh yeah. You didn't get the gray controller?
No, I wish I did, but
it's
controller for the longest time until the cap of the rubber started coming off on one of the analog sticks.
Yeah, it's been the controller I've used almost the entire generation. I always use it.
My main PS4 controller is a midnight blue one.
I really kind of wish I got one of the ones that were on Black Friday sale late last year. Like, I forget what the colors were, but there were some pretty nice ones.
I had to get the midnight blue because it made me think of when I was big into Street Fighter 2 when it was fairly new. My friend and I, our favorite character was Ken, and we loved using midnight blue Ken because that was an alternate color. Mellow Gaming has a good point, saying what's always amazed me with this is that the music is that none of it's from the film, but it really sounds like it was. It had a very similarly synthy soundtrack, and it has that kind of like I can't even describe the sound.
Oh, that doom doom! I like that like metallic echo.
Yes.
Sound. That sound drives me crazy because it sounds like this like sampled sound of some kind that like you hear in like from movie to movie or game to game even from time to time. I remember the first I can't even remember what movie it was.
I feel like that's a defining aspect of the soundtrack. For me, for someone on the outside, I guess.
Yeah, I mean I want to say this was like Grant Kirkhope did, I believe, most of this. I don't know exactly how much, but I think this is one of his first major jobs, really, for Rare. I think the first thing he did was
Okay, we're back.
but this level is, you know, nothing that happens in the movie at all.
Yeah. That's happened like 8 times. I mean, I wish there was something we could do. I mean, going over to Twitch really isn't an option, especially since there's 500 people watching. I can't just say, oh, everyone go to the Twitch.
Yeah, and maybe it wouldn't be much better. Who knows? Normally, it is not like this if you're just looking for proof that YouTube streaming is bad or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's never been this bad.
And usually when it was because of my internet. It seemed to be. Oh, I forgot there's a time limit in this level.
Bob Cornell says, wait till the stream comes back before I say something. Yeah, like every single Sunday has never been an issue. I mean, we have never had it be this bad before. Someone was saying that it's because YouTube can't handle this game.
I like to think that's true. I think I've missed an objective. And I'm pretty sure the exit to the level is right there. Obtain telemetric data. I forget how to do that.
And now everyone's saying that your voice is booming.
Booming? I mean, just in general, I guess. I'll turn me down just a little bit. I turned my mic up a little bit just because. I mean, I probably talk louder as the stream goes on.
The advanced mod is too advanced for YouTube.
Yeah.
Sean says, I'm going to pay $1.99 for every crash. I guess I'll have to see how much money I'm out of by the end of the stream. Speaking of that, we gotta do at some point in the next upcoming month, we gotta do the last dab.
Yeah.
Hot sauce.
Man, I don't remember how you obtained the telemetric data. But I think I just failed the mission. Anyone remember how you do that?
I don't.
I know you don't.
You were saying that you had $20 in Best Buy gift cards or gift certificates. Did you figure out what you're going to use it on?
No, I mean probably either Wonderful 101 or Xenoblade.
Well, I don't know if you know this, or maybe you haven't thought about it, but this Friday, Ys Memories of Celceta comes out on PS4.
Oh.
I mean, as far as I know, it's this Friday.
And that, you know, like Ys 8 became expensive.
I mean, I have this pre-order. Okay, it's saying May 1st now. Okay, by Friday. Well, they might not have same day shipping.
Or
it's
is it-
laying on the table, someone was saying. Did
Well,
you get
the
it?
circuit boards were laying on tables. I'm wondering if it. I remember there's something called the DAT. I wonder if it's something that I like actually have to like scare out of a scientist. I'm not sure if it's laying on tables. The circuit boards are on tables. I feel like I might have to cause a scientist to drop it. And I wasn't thorough in my scientist intimidation.
I am definitely going to replay these Salsetta, though. It's been a while, and it'll be nice to play it. I have the PC version, but once I saw that this was announced, I decided to wait to see if this would get announced or get localized. I'm glad it was. I don't really know what it has that's added.
No clue. I mean, I still need to play Ys 8.
You should play that like really soon. You should play that after Trials of Mana.
I mean, there's a lot of things I should play really soon.
I know, but that is one that I feel like once you start, you're gonna be very into it. Oh, we got two $1.99s from Sean Quinn saying, "There we go," and oh damn. We also got $5 from Container 7 saying, "No worries about the stream issues, guys." Well, thank you. I'm glad that it's not frustrating everybody. I'm not sure if it's coming to Switch. I mean, it'd be cool if it did, but
Ys 8 was kind of rough on Switch, wasn't it?
And that was also NIS or NISA or whatever they're called. Did the port on that, and it was not very good. And going back to it now, like playing it in docked mode, it is crazy bad compared to.
So NIS actually did the port themselves.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they did with Trails of Cold Steel 3 that's coming out too.
Oh really? Of course. Of course, Salsetta is a Vita game originally, so it should be able to look pretty good on Switch, but you never know.
Yeah. I would like to. It would be nice if they ported that in also.
Oh yeah.
MAO789 thing. Have you guys been playing FF7R at all?
Well, we beat it.
Yeah, we both finished it, and we
recorded
a mini. Last week was
air quotes mini.
So I'm gonna go into editing that immediately after finishing this first party controllers episode, and it was 2 hours long, our conversation about it.
And who knows how long it's actually going to be.
Yeah.
I
mean, I do want I almost feel like it'd be worth like calling it something else for something like that.
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like mini is not like the correct name for what we're doing with those, but we just can't think of it. We haven't thought of anything else.
Well, and we'd have to make a new intro, which I guess we could.
That's fine.
I say MLiG Mini in the beginning,
and it is fine. But I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, in the future, I would like to come up with another name. And in terms of, I see that Henry Clark is saying post the unedited version on Patreon. I've thought about doing that.
I mean, there were a few times though where we like start and stop and sort of.
But I think that like for patrons, like it'd be totally fine. I'll consider the potential for that once I see how it edits. But I mean, it was over. It was like 2 hours or maybe over.
I mean, and
Over
I
2
feel like if it's easy for you to edit, like it's not a big deal to. It's not a big deal necessarily for you to, like, you know, use the B-roll and, you know, kind of just let go, you know.
Right. But I mean, I want it to be watchable too. But I mean, it's like, I mean, we'll see. We will see. But I would like to eventually come up with a different name for them to be something else.
Yeah.
Because I think that it was Joe Reddifer that said, like, I think that calling these mini episodes are like is doing like an injustice to them, because people are less likely to check, like, probably less people are less likely to check them out because of that.
I don't know if that's really. I don't know if like mini is necessarily a bad name though. Like, why would someone not check it out just because it was short?
Well, you never know.
Like, someone might not check it out because it's
no, I don't think that they're not checking out because it's short, because it's like actually not mini, because it's like they've all been over 20 minutes. So
I don't know how that would do it a disservice. I don't know how. I agree it's not the perfect name, but I feel like MLiG Mini has such a good ring to it.
I guess, I don't know.
I just don't know what I just don't know what I just don't know what else you would call it that would sound cool and short and catchy.
Yeah.
This is another interesting thing that, like, this boat is in the movie, but Bond does not actually go to it.
Okay, so we had a $5 donation from Craig Wan. Thank you, saying, if given the opportunity, would you guys consider making a cameo appearances in indie or even mainstream games, or even as hidden players or bosses? We've been put in one game before, Streets of Red. We are in the background of like the versus mode. I mean, I talked about it in our year-end video, for 2018. Oh, we're not. It'd be funny if we were. It'd be awesome if we were in River City Girls, but we're not. It would be cool if we were, though. I'm not sure somehow people on the street. We also had a $2 donation from Blade Boy. Thank you. Saying, hope you guys are doing well. All the best. Hope you're doing okay too.
Yeah. Yeah, we did back when Streets of Red was called Devil's Dare and was just a PC release. We were approached. This was really early in the channel. We were approaching and were asked if like we wanted to make like a trailer for it, like a live action VHS style trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that, but that was early in the trailer, or early in the channel, like when we kind of were doing like that, a lot of that VHS stuff.
We shot that like it was right after the first RGB video came out. That wasn't why we were asked to do it, but
so it was a year into the channel.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Because it was because of the How to Beat series that made him interested.
Yeah.
You know, Emperor Ernest is saying if it was just MLiG without the mini, no one would blink.
Yeah.
I mean, we could put like a short, like a normal short intro on it and not even say anything, but we don't want it to.
But it says, I don't. Oh, oops. Okay, do I have a device that you use? The bomb diffuser. Okay, I forgot. It's been a while. But
$1.99.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, some people, huh? Oh, I'm sorry.
saying from Paul Sutton, $1.99 from Paul Sutton saying, has the copyright on Let's Recap expired yet?
But the thing is, some people would blink because some people like MLiG minis. Some people don't like MLiG minis. Some people prefer MLiG minis. Some people don't. I mean, you know,
some people think like, oh, you guys aren't doing scripted stuff
yeah,
anymore.
I mean, this is a thing that comes up every time we do one. It's like, oh, are you guys just not? There was one comment on the most recent one saying, oh, you guys aren't scripted anymore. It shows.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like,
why I think it'll be good once this episode is out this week, because it's like it's almost an hour, so it's gonna be a return to form. Hopefully for some people, will say like, oh, excuse me, it's been way too long. Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know. You kind of go through and explain the idea behind a mini again at the beginning of this.
yeah.
I'm like unscripted. I like that a little bit.
MLiG unscripted. That could work. It's not as catchy, but it could work. It's certainly a lot more.
Without the script.
Gosh darn it! There's all these people keep coming behind me and blowing up the bomb.
You think it can be all the research without the script? I'm like unplugged.
I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily all the research. I mean, but we tried.
I know. I just think it'd be funny to.
It's maybe not quite as much because, like, I think we're willing to go into a mini, like, being maybe not as sure about a few things, but we'll never say like, oh, this is what it is without being sure, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we're not just gonna say something we don't know about. Like, it's not like, oh, you know, like, never actually tested that, but you know, I could see that happening.
Like the use of the word guiding or something like that, and that's something that we had talked about. Something like side quest is what we had early
yeah.
on.
Oh yeah, real early. Yeah. I had the idea for after the 5 parts of Analog Frontiers are done, like, if we ever if we ever did a one-off topic where we maybe interviewed just one person, maybe we made it just about one person, or a smaller topic. Hostage executed. That's okay. A few are expensive.
Some people are saying MLiG raw.
MLiG raw.
Raw.
But I like the idea of. I lost my train of thought already. What were we talking about? Side quest, yeah. For Analog Frontiers, I like the idea that, like, okay, maybe we'll just talk to one person, you know, as long as it's like sort of fits what we're doing with Analog Frontiers. I like the idea that we could do an Analog Frontiers guide. It's just one person or one smaller topic, but it wouldn't have like the huge cast of characters that regular Analog Frontiers has.
I mean, I do like the idea of it. But I mean, I'm not sure if side quest like would really fit the conversational format.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, MLiG Mini did not. I mean, we did MLiG Minis, like 2 or 3 of them.
Ago, really.
Yeah. And they were like 6-minute videos. But they were scripted. And then when we had the idea to do an unscripted Genesis Mini impressions video.
Paul Sutton says we should call it MLiG Presents a freeform discussion concerning games, gaming hardware, and games on gaming hardware.
I kind of love it.
If that would all fit.
I do kind of love it, honestly. Oh no! Wait, did that guy actually get away? I got like blown into this door by this guy shooting at me out here. And, like, it like shot me like right next to the hostage. I can't believe that he wasn't shot. You don't have to free all the hostages though. At least not on.
No, Emperor said MLiG Mini is probably the best at the end of the day.
I mean, in some ways, yeah. I mean, that's why we haven't gone away from it, I guess.
Frank Taser says, I really like Analog Frontiers Spotlight series. That's pretty good. MLiG Uncut, but I mean, if you could see the timelines for some of these.
I mean, the thing is that it is cut. I mean, there's a lot of people who don't actually believe that we are talking to each other in MLiG Mini. Like, they think that it is, like, we're either pretending we're talking to each other or it's a recreation of a conversation that we had.
Yes.
And because it is edited and we do, like, rearrange the conversation a little bit and stuff like that. And I understand where they're coming from. And I actually suggested for this Final Fantasy VII one that we both wear headphones because I feel like that is what is causing people to disbelieve that it's a real conversation. Because I feel like if we're wearing headphones, like, it's I guess I'm more used to it now, but like, do people understand when I say, like, when people started using Bluetooth headsets with phones and you would just see like a guy just standing there, like talking like he's having a conversation with someone and there's no one in front of him, but you're just out in public going blah, 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 and you're not holding a phone to your head and there's not a person in front of you. Like, does that like, it's unsettling. Like, or at least I used to be unsettled by it. And I feel like that's what people are feeling when they see us talking to each other, but there's no, like, visual representation of how we're talking to each other.
That's true. Sean Quinn with $9.99 saying, will you guys try the last dab on a piece of Carolina Reaper beef jerky to cover the next 5 outages? I mean,
that sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, it all depends on how I feel about the last dab.
Yes, and see, Chris is right. Says I'm sure Digital Foundry's direct videos are edited in a similar way to the minis, and that's true. And like, maybe that's what we should say is, like, you know, we're talking to each other.
I mean, we'd call them MLiG Directs if DF Direct wasn't already taken. Even though I know DF Direct is probably a bit of a play on Nintendo Direct, but
right,
that's their rebranding of it.
Yeah. It'd be. I don't feel like that'd go over very well. But I mean, like, trying that beef jerky, last dab. I don't know. Like, that's maybe too much. But since I did better than I expected last time, now
you did better than I did.
I'm nervous about it.
You feel like too much is expected of you now?
Yes. But I mean, stuff like that. I mean, we recorded this Final Fantasy VII video, and I'm gonna edit that like immediately after I finish with this controllers video. So and that's going to follow really fairly closely afterwards. I'm not gonna hold it back for any reason. I'm just gonna put it out when it's done, because that's like gonna be probably like 3 days afterwards, I'm guessing. I would like it to be 3 days afterwards, especially since it's just gameplay and maybe just like a little bit of comparisons if it comes down to it, just like certain parts and stuff. But I mean, really, it's just a discussion, like our thoughts on it. And it's really something that I know I've talked about this the last couple of weeks, but it's something that I want to do more of, because we've always planned on doing it with Trials of Mana, and that's, you know, we're playing that now.
Well, I would be if my copy had arrived.
Right. So we're going to record that afterwards, and those are just meant to be like as just kind of an outlet for us to just talk about stuff. And what's kind of good about it is that it is making me like just sit back and play games again, because up until
feels
recently,
good, right?
yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, I guess. Like, and I've been, you know, just sitting down and playing a couple hours at night before going to bed, and slowly making progress and stuff. And I think that I'll do it more often. So, we had a $2 donation from RC. Thank you, saying, joined late. Can you explain the N64 setup?
It's an N64 RGB mod with some extra features. It can do 480p and 720p on the analog output if you want, but it can also just do 240p with deblur like the regular mod. So it is not mine. I'm borrowing it, but it's pretty cool.
And you'll be doing a mini with Bob from Retro RGB.
Correct.
About it. Frag Taster is saying, will there be a lot of spoilers in the Final Fantasy VII mini? And we established right away that it is a free-for-all. Like, there is...
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, we don't really get into spoilers too much. Early on, we do, but like it takes a while before we get into like spoilers about like what is so radically different. But yes, I mean it gets into spoiler. I feel like if we do more game focused episodes, like it's really going to vary depending on the game whether we talk about spoilers or not. There might be some that are relatively safe from spoilers and others that aren't.
And the whole idea is like, we're not just going to do like brand new stuff, but I mean, it might be some older stuff that we haven't played through before. You know, I would like to do one. I mean, I want to do a full episode on Lunar, but I think it'd be really fun to do like we could, I mean, just, I don't know, like just like other games that maybe one of us have played, or maybe it can be both of us basically playing a game for the first time. Mm-hmm. It can be new, it can be old. I think the idea is that if they're quick to make, and it gives us a project, like a game that we want to do each month, that gets us playing a game that we might not normally prioritize for one, and also we can try to, like, our hopes would be that we would do at least one a month, but
eventually,
like maybe we can like say what our next one's going to be, and it can be like a discussion. Like it can be like kind of a game club type thing where people can play through the same thing with us. You know, we finish by a certain date, and then like we all talk about it, and people could even like maybe like people could like tell us like certain comments or something. Like we could like set up a place where
have a mail. We could have a mailbag.
Yeah, like a mailbag type thing for it. That'd be kind of fun. Wouldn't it? Like if we set up a, like we give enough of a heads up and people can play through it, and then people like, we can have like a form submission thing where people can write things like, hey, what did you think about this? Like, I thought this part was so cool.
That would be a ton of fun.
That'd be kind of a fun thing, and it would give us something to bring up at the very end of the episode.
Yeah, like okay, like next month we're gonna play, you know, we didn't say it in this one, but you know, like we're gonna play Trials of Mana, you know.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. But we gotta like establish it first, right? But I do like the idea of that. Yeah. Oh, we got a $5 donation from Dustin Kramer. Thank you. Saying, thanks for being a staple of my Sunday nights. In my house, you're frequently called my boys, and my wife calls you the Framemeisters and the RGBs.
I appreciate that. The RGBs.
Yeah. It's fun, you know. Stuff like that, you don't usually get to hear that kind of thing. But so on Friday, I did this interview with like some of the people who run the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo. It was on Instagram Live. It was like an hour conversation where we're just talking about stuff, and it should be on their YouTube channel. I'm not sure if it's on there yet or not. But it was cool seeing the people in the chat come in and watch, and like some of my friends were in there, and it's like a whole different thing, because I think that like people I know in real life that much, like we don't really talk about stuff like this, or they don't get to really see things they have to do with the channel that much, I guess. I mean, it's always interesting when aspects of the channel show up in like real life. I guess. Like I think about it where a friend of mine, he's like a big podcast guy, and he listens to Retronauts, and he like randomly says, he's like, you know, I was listening to Retronauts and you were on it. So it's funny when that kind of stuff comes up.
I am using a PVM capable of 480p, but I'm just using 240p to it. But it's being upscaled to 960p for what I'm seeing to the stream via the OSSC. But I can look at 480p. It was glitching out earlier when I was trying to demonstrate how the 480p works on this mod, and it worked before, so I don't know why it was glitching out.
Yeah, it's looking like Long Island Retro isn't going to happen this year. I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah, I wish it could, because like, man, that was such a good convention. That is one of my favorites I've been to. Like, it's definitely a contender for my favorite. I mean, it was so good. It was just very well organized. All the people that ran it were just super cool.
But when I was doing that interview, my son came down and he's just like, was putting amiibos in front of the camera. It didn't quite know what he was doing. He's just like, hey, it's like all up in it. So we were looking for something to watch while we were having dinner tonight. And I pulled up Disney Plus. Did you know that there is like 12 seasons of America's Funniest Home Videos?
That's wild.
On Disney Plus. I was like, what? Why is this on here? It's from like starting in like 2002.
It's the wildest thing to me that America's Funniest Home Videos is like still a thing that exists. Like,
yeah.
Like there is a current version of the show. Like, that is wild to me that has an audience today.
It's like the longest running comedy TV show, or something like that.
Is Candid Camera not on anymore?
Definitely not. But so we were watching some of like the earliest season that they had, which was from 2002. So it's like that kind of puts it in perspective.
Wait, that's the earliest they had?
That they have on there, yeah. I mean, it's all with what's his name? Is it Tom Bergeron? It's like the host of it later on. Not like I only watched it when Bob Saget.
Yeah, I mean that was the version of it I was familiar with.
Right, but then this other guy. Oh, is the stream gonna die? It's buffering.
It's got some bad numbers right now. Man, it
But
just seems like everyone at this level knows where I am.
1994, like all the videos from it are from. I was surprised that they were showing as old of videos as they were on there, because there's a lot of stuff from like early to mid 90s.
Well, I mean, hey, I mean, it can be submitted anytime, I guess.
Yeah, but I was very surprised that even.
I wonder if America's Funniest Home Videos still accepts like mail-in physical, like VHS submissions. I have no idea how the alarm kept getting set off last attempt. I mean, I think there were a few cameras, but I didn't see any when it got set off. The buildings have a lot less stuff going on in them than in the first version of this level. That is one slightly lame thing about this game's campaign is that the surface and bunker are reused once each. And the funny thing is, Bond doesn't see what is setting off that alarm? I have no idea. The funny thing is, Bond doesn't go to either of these. Bond doesn't go to this location in the movie, but you go to it twice in the game. Man, this is...
Part 2 of Analog Frontiers will be out in May.
What sets that off?
But I think, once I'm done with this current episode, I think things are gonna get easier. Like I figured out a good workflow. I say this every week, but I'm feeling confident. I feel like what's happened now is that I've just like spent. It's been too long since I've done a full episode like this, and maybe I'm trying to overcompensate for it. I don't know.
Of course I'm playing with an original controller.
It's a $3 donation from RC. Thank you. What control scheme are you using?
Oh, the original. I can adapt, like, I know it doesn't play anything like a modern first-person shooter, but like I played so much of this game that it does not feel weird to go back to it. Man, having trouble. Should I switch back? Should I switch to Agent? Just to
Sure. I'm gonna fill up my water.
Okay.
I will be right back, okay?
Just to make a little more progress. Oh, the stick is fine. I don't have any N64 controllers that have like abysmally bad sticks. I mean, this was either the first or second extra controller I bought back in the day, and this green one was for a while probably the most used one. The stick is fine. Like people who watch that old N64 stick replacement video, there was a bad replacement stick. A lot of people are like, oh, he must have never played Mario Party. I did. I had the blister too. I played a good bit of Smash Brothers. I feel like I played more N64 than the average N64 owner by a good bit. Maybe not as the most as a lot of people, but I played a lot of N64. I mean, I was pretty obsessed with the system. So maybe I'm just naturally more gentle somehow. I don't know. But like none of my controllers have bad sticks. Like there are, you know, I kind of have like a slight tier in my head of like, you know, this is my best one and the others are maybe minimally more used. But like this stick like has very little wiggle room, you know, from in its neutral position and doesn't feel crunchy or anything. So, I mean, I didn't mean to come across snooty or anything in that video, but like, I seriously don't know why my sticks are in such good shape and it's so rare to find one that's not just like completely trashed. But my original controllers were, you know, the gray that it shipped with, this green that I'm using now, a blue, and a gold that I ordered from Nintendo Power. And I later bought an extra gray, which I kind of consider my main controller. I keep it downstairs with the Ultra HDMI system. But that one I got like, it was, oh, I don't know. It was after college, so it was probably like between 2006 and 2008 or 9, I would guess. You know, it was a completely fresh controller that I could just order from store.nintendo.com. And so I kind of consider that my main one, but in all honesty, it's not significantly better from the ones that I owned back in the day. It was really nice to have like a perfectly fresh N64 controller when I first got it, but it's just the ones I have, I don't know. Like I played a lot of it, but I cleaned out the sort of swivel pit with a Q-tip every now and then, but I never did any like internal cleaning or did any like, you know, lubricant or anything. Like I don't know. I can't explain it.
I missed a $5 donation while I was upstairs from Dustin Kramer.
Well, thank you.
Saying, wife is upset that she was out of the room and missed your reaction to her nicknames for you. The Frame Meister and Try is RGB. Whenever we're like at the same convention that Limited Run is at, or the couple of times that I've gone down to their office, like inevitably as soon as Douglas hears my voice, like he like pops his head in and goes, RGB. It is inevitable.
It is inevitable.
Golden Cane is saying, I think the N64 controller is overhated.
Yeah, that's right.
Play with something like the GC controller or something for sure.
I personally feel that using this...
Get on your N64 controller business in this upcoming episode again.
Oh, yeah.
It's like everyone knows how to use it. Don't pretend like you don't know how to use it.
Right. Well, exactly. Right.
I feel that they don't have 3 hands, but like
people are like, I don't have 3 hands. How do you use that? It's like, come on! Like, don't make that argument. Like it, like you know how you use it. Like, And like, I think people are like, oh, but you can't use the D-pad and the stick at the same time. What game makes you do that? Other than Sin and Punishment, which is designed for holding the left and middle. And you don't even have to use that control scheme if you don't want to. But like your average game, like, oh, I'm playing GoldenEye. Oh, guess what? I can move with the D-pad. I can strafe with it, but guess what? I can also do that with the C buttons. Like there's no game that is like going to make you, to my knowledge, that is going to make you like switch to the other handle during gameplay. Like, okay, sure, on a PS3 controller or an Xbox 360 controller, I can do gun quick select functions on the D-pad. That's great. That's nice. You can't do that in N64 games. Like, I had never seen a game that had that feature until like, I don't know, 2009? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, why are people acting like the three-prong matters? Why those guys just blow up? What happened? These guys need to just like stop spawning. Like, are they just spawning out of these empty huts? Like, they've got to be. I don't even need to be going over here. These guys are just spawning in these huts.
Fog Bergkamp is saying there should be another segment of the channel called Tries Rants. I mean, yeah, but every single one of them is going to be about the N64 controller.
Yeah, basically. I think first-person shooters play better on the N64 controller than the GameCube controller. And I really came to that belief after playing Time Splitters 2 on PS2, because I realized how much better it controls than on GameCube. Because the octagonal gates on the sticks, especially the right stick, don't work nearly as well for Time Splitters 2. Like, it feels so much better on PS2 or Xbox, I assume. After I did that Perfect Dark Zero episode and was like newly re-obsessed with Time Splitters 2, I ended up buying all 3 versions.
I
just had to have them.
There was a $2 donation from Chris saying, I do wish that the N64 controller was bigger.
Oh, there you go.
So I had one of the most time-consuming aspects of doing this this first-party controllers video is that I've been taking all of them apart to clean them. The only ones that I didn't clean were ones that were not mine. I borrowed a Japanese Saturn pad, which is it is the first controller that shows up in the episode is the Japanese Saturn pad. So I didn't have a Japanese version. So I knew somebody local who had a white one that I borrowed, and I didn't feel comfortable opening up somebody else's controller and anything. And but that takes a time. It takes a while. Yeah. And then once I start
you're getting the B-roll. You're getting good B-roll of the inside.
Well, if I am getting better at this, then I can might as well just do these other 3 that I have here. And so that ends up taking
the helicopter.
I had this in like dirty and gross Spice GameCube controller that I really wanted to use, but it was really gross, and the sticks were really bad on it. But I had a second black controller that had good sticks, but it was uncleanable. So I opened them both up, and I totally cleaned the Spice and took the sticks from the other one, from the black one, and put it in there. But I actually ended up taking the analog, or the full analog, and replacing the C stick on the Spice controller. Mm-hmm. So it's the dual analog. And I know that you had said that you had problems with it doing that with like one of the newer revisions? Is it just because once they're in there, it kind of scrapes a little bit?
It rubs against the plastic internally a bit. Is that what's happening for you?
Yeah, but it's not very severe.
I didn't like it.
I am still holding that amiibo. It's a Mega Man amiibo. I've just been messing around with them here this whole time. As everyone watched me manhandle Mega Man here. But now it's kind of a unique control. So there was.
I wish I had a Spice controller, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I just had it. It was
my
really clean.
My Indigo controller. I actually put the Smash Ultimate controllers internals into it. Because it, just fresh buttons, fresh stick, longer cord. And I kind of wanted like the Indigo to become my main GameCube controller color, since that is kind of the iconic, I guess. For a long time, my main GameCube controller was, oh my gosh, there's so many people coming. For a long time, my main GameCube controller was the white one that came out, I think, only in Japan for Brawl.
Oh yeah. I have that one, I think. It has a long cord on it too.
Yep, that was when I first. That was the main reason it was my main one.
Yeah. So there was a $4.99 donation from Paul Sutton saying, "Hey, my friend Joe says Returns and Tropical Freeze are way better than the original trilogy. Thoughts?"
No.
That's his other rant will be about, I guess.
Yeah.
And 64 controllers and Donkey Kong Country Returns. And,
it is very interesting to me how whenever someone makes the arguments about original trilogy versus the new ones, the word that you see used all the time is masterpiece. Like, it is so consistent. People are always calling those games masterpieces. And it's just not true. The roll mechanic feels completely wrong. You feel like you're shot out of a slingshot when you do a roll jump. I never get used to it. Never could understand, like, where am I going to land?
You were so compelled when this happened that you wrote this big long blog post. Is that blog post still out there?
Probably.
What was the name of your blog? Maybe I can link it.
It was an IGN blog. It's probably really embarrassing by now.
What was your name on there?
I'm sure it was just Triforce or some variant thereof. It could have possibly been Triforce Cubed.
Here's your Triforce's Impossible Virtual Console wish list.
Huh? I don't know.
Triforce Cubed, yeah. Here we go.
Is it on IGN?
It's on a forum post. Oh no, it's blog post. Okay, so here we go.
A long time ago, I posted on IGN message boards, like.
Do you care if I
early 2000s? Sure.
This here impossible. Let me read these donations really quick. There was a $5 from Blake Romo. Thank you, saying watching you play while doing my last English paper. Also, what did I miss? What's new with this one? I mean, it's just a ground up version of the N64 RGB mod. It includes line doubling. It can do even 720p out of
out of
out of analog, right?
over RGB, and
Yeah.
you can even wire you can even wire up a. I guess in theory you can wire up a component cable for it, or you could do YPBPR over SCART. Man,
We also had a $2 donation from for Love of the Game.
Like shoot.
Clobbering time.
That's right. Do I just shoot this? Can you blow up the satellite tower? Like I feel like there's a key card to get me into the door in the tower, and I have no clue where it is. I feel like I've been everywhere.
Okay, so here's the following list is 10 potential virtual console titles that I have been.
Oh wait, I forgot that I switched to Agent. No,
They've been wrought from nothing more than wishful thinking. Major hurdles stand in the way of all of them, but still, surely at least a couple will materialize. Let's see how many you got. This is from October 2006.
Okay.
What you wanted on Virtual Console.
Okay.
Radical Dreamers.
Oh.
Homestar Runner.
Homestar Runner. What? Oh, like probably like their Flash games.
Runner.com are easily the best Flash-based games on the internet, and they're hilarious too. Adventures of Lolo 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, those did happen, I think. I think all of those happened.
Stunt Race FX.
That didn't get re-released until the Switch.
Blake Romo, $2 from Blake Romo. Thank you. Saying Key is in one of the huts.
I feel like I went in all the huts.
Well, but you wanted a remake of it. It looks like.
Oh, really?
How about keeping the graphics exactly the same, but bumping up the resolution, frame rate, and draw distance? That's all I ask. It says, in its current state, I doubt Stunt Race FX will ever appear on the Virtual Console. Straight SNES emulation wouldn't really be possible on an upgraded game. Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. You wanted an NES remake, NES style remake
For
Link's Awakening.
Oh, for Link's Awakening, like,
How about an NES port of Link's Awakening? Castle Crashers.
Oh, I probably because I didn't have a way to play it, and everyone was talking about it at the time.
You want a Kirby Superstar with Wi-Fi co-op. So my favorite co-op game of all time plus Wi-Fi equals want very badly. Dragon Quest 5 and 6.
Oh,
Good. You wanted Castlevania? Rondo of Blood was your number 2.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that did happen. Dragon Quest 5 and 6, the Super Nintendo versions never got official translations, but at least we got the DS versions.
It says it's regarded as inferior to the PC Engine version, but if a downloadable Super Nintendo version were my only choice, I'd take it.
Well, I mean that came too, but not until the Wii U.
You had over 3,000 posts on this message board, and number 1 was Fire Emblem.
3,000 message board.
Yeah.
The message board probably I mean that goes back to like 2001. I'd be surprised. I'm surprised that those would still be there.
We got a $2.69 donation from JLF. Asking favorite consumer and pro CRTs for playing the 8-bits.
I mean,
Toshiba, especially in terms of consumer.
Yeah, mostly just because that's what we have. I mean, I wouldn't, I mean, people always ask, "Oh, so you don't go for the Sonys?" Well, I don't have a consumer Sony. I had a consumer HD Sony, which I loved at a time, but then decided I don't love so much. But like in terms of just like the consumer non-HD Sonys, I mean, we just don't have them. you know. So we recommend what we know, which is the Toshibas. Of course, when it comes to the Pro, you know, we've got Sony's. You know, the one that we like best, at least that we have, is the 20L5, PVM 20L5, because it can do 480p and 720p and 1080p as well. But it's quite difficult to get. You will pay a pretty penny for it at this point.
I'm trying to find your blog, by the way.
About Donkey Kong Country Returns?
Just like the entire, yeah.
It's possible it was somewhere else, maybe. But I feel like it was probably there. Man, I have no idea. I'm just going to get out of this level, and I'm just going to go goof around on my good file.
It wasn't on Blogspot. Would it be on Blogspot?
Don't think so. That was... Actually, now that I think about it, which one was abandoned first? I can't remember. I don't think it was there.
So the last time you posted on the IGN boards was in 2008.
Well, is that when Donkey Kong Country returned? No, that was like 2010. Gosh, I don't...
Here's your novel on Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh, gosh. I wonder if I would even agree with what I wrote back then.
Late States.
Whoa!
Holy cow!
Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's $100 from RC?
Jeez, thank you.
Thank you. Holy crap.
That is super generous. Much appreciated.
It's from RC. Thank you. Geez. Saying, you said you were borrowing the system. I have an extra N64 advanced board if you want it. You bought one as well, though,
I
right?
did, but I did go ahead and buy one. I've got 2 candidate systems for it to go into. But thank you for offering, certainly. But I ordered it just because I was like, okay, well, I mean, I can't install it myself, but I would like to, you know, just have it for when I am ready to get it installed.
Right. Jeez, thank you.
Thank you.
That's insanely generous. We also had a $5 donation from Brandon Wolf.
Thank you.
For Rondo of Blood, is there a mod/download either on the mini or on a real system that has English translation or voice acting? Love the channel. The PS4 version has the English translation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any version. Well, the PSP version does have English voice acting. At least like the 3D remake does. I don't remember if the included. I don't remember if the included. Emulation has English in it or not.
RC did not mean to do it. I think that it's possible for you to reverse it. I'm not sure. Someone has done it though before.
Oh yeah. You can.
Okay,
So people have made that mistake before.
Yeah, you do.
No bad feelings if you need to go back on that. That's
yeah. There's you can.
We completely understand.
Yes, I mean didn't it happen one other time where it was like another amount? It wasn't like $1,000 or something.
No, it wasn't that exactly, but it was. I think someone meant to donate like $4 or something, and they, accidentally put like 00 on the end.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna make the game glitch?
So watch this. So I put a mine on each of the modders. Now this is just me remembering. So now anything that you throw, like here's a grenade. No, it didn't work. Is there more to it?
But yeah, RC, I'm not sure exactly how you can. Yeah, that's right. It's for love of the game. I once donated $500. So yeah, that's right. You were able to get that reverse though. It was an accident.
Yeah.
Do 5 and did 500. But no, I mean, if you
please,
I mean, that would, especially like in this day.
Yes.
Everything that's like that's going on in the world. Gotta hold on to that. We had $5 from Jonathan G saying, do you think we'll ever have a component solution for NES or N64? I have everything else going through my G account. Well, if you have the RGB mod, you can use the HD Retrovision component cables.
Yep. Or you could use the McCheskey RGB to component converter, or this system that I'm using right now has can do component, but you would obviously need a special cable.
Is this like the end of the game?
Yeah. I mean, I went back to my complete file and just turned on cheats to have fun.
Oh, okay.
Because that level was really boring.
It shows from like so many different angles.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I was hoping to get the ending. If I do agent, you still have to destroy the console. Where is that? I forget.
For the grenades to go sticky, you need to have the crosshair reticle showing if memory serves correctly.
Oh, really? I'll try it again.
See, Antonio Galvin is saying you guys should open an OnlyFans account for your game setups. I'm not even sure what OnlyFans is. I've only heard of it like in relation to like adult entertainers. I'm not really sure exactly what else it is. Like what else is on there. I mean, I can look into it. Oh, we got a $5 donation from VintageGamer.com. That sounds like a kind of website I'd like to check out. It says, thanks for the great videos. You guys have taught me a lot. Well, yeah, I saw you say earlier that you finally got to catch a live stream. Welcome. Thank you. Try's OnlyFans account is spicy. Don't lie, you know what it is. I know, Oh, it is. That's the joke. Okay.
I kind of figured it out after you dropped it.
Wait a minute.
After you stopped talking about it, I kind of put it together in my head. I'm like, oh.
Oh, I didn't even.
I was like, that's the joke.
That is the joke.
All right, let's see if I can...
Don't look into it. LOL. Okay. For love of the game with $2, saying retro or classic. Retro implies they're outdated.
I mean, retro implies there's a new thing that is like an old thing.
But unfortunately, that's kind of what is taken over. As like
right.
People say. So like when we say that, it's mainly because it's just like people tend to like make that question in their mind anyways.
Correct. So
yeah.
There we go.
There's float in the air.
Yep.
You've opened like a door to an alternate universe.
So what's funny though is like even the rocket launcher, like here's still an enemy up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you actually have to like back up from the rocket.
Right? Because you can run into it.
No, because like you just pick it back up. It just says you picked up a rocket.
Oh.
I don't even know if it'll blow up because it might just be counting as a piece of ammo now.
It's funny because I mean we try to use vintage when we can, and sometimes I'll say it, but I mean I think and sometimes like I think people make the connection when you say retro even though it's not accurate.
Right. I mean in Analog Frontiers, like I've tried to avoid using retro in the I've tried to avoid using retro in the script. Like obviously our interview people will say it, but I've tried to avoid it. You know, just because of that, you know.
Is he saying he's gonna say I'm invincible and you're gonna blow him? Yeah, see how invincible he is now. So you can blow everything up then, using the watch?
No, that only works for the remote buys.
Objective failed. Is he like completely gone now? Sean Quinn with $4.99. Thank you. Saying, what about MLiG co-ops instead of minis because you're doing it together simultaneously?
That kind of sounds maybe like a let's play though.
Yeah, that's true. But he says also, can you say I love me some sharp pixels? Oh, you want me to say it? You want me to say, oh, I love me some sharp pixels. Like try.
Just like I like them.
Gotta do the growl. Love my pixels. So sharp they'll cut your eyes. Goodbye Plucking says, well, I believe the word retro is taken from retro cedar, which means to go back.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people probably. You want to come up here, Sandy? You want to come up here? Come on. Yeah, it is a little tight here. I'll help you. Sandy says hi. Say hi, Sandy.
Jonathan Jesus with $2. Thank you. Says I would listen to the crap out of an MLiG podcast. Well, these episodes are all put up as podcasts, so if there's Not that it's not the same thing. I understand, but maybe one day there will be something that will fill that gap. So I'm like going back to your big post on Metal Gear Solid 3. It's like I've got a PS3 and I beat MGS4. Is the title of your post?
Oh yeah, because like I mean that was why.
Right.
That was why I got it.
Like, it's this long post, and then the post is 5 very long paragraphs long, and it looks like you don't even. The 4th paragraph, you said, that said, it's time to talk MGS4.
Well, I probably was talking about getting my PS3. I mean, you know, I had this super stupid idea that I was going to attempt to go Nintendo only again that generation. And you know, at first I was like, I really wanted an Xbox 360 like at launch, but I ended up not getting it. And then when the Wii came out, I was like, I can do this. I can go Nintendo only again. I don't need all this extra game stuff in my life. And well, you know, who was I kidding thinking that I could you know, not get a mainline Final Fantasy or Resident Evil or Metal Gear, you know? Like, I had to. So, you know, that's when I got that bundle.
Here's a look at the compilation of Final Fantasy VII plus Securing Crisis Core. I don't think Dirge of Cerberus was all that bad.
Huh?
Your sentence saying, I didn't think that Dirge of Cerberus was all that bad. I saw someone way earlier.
Didn't think what was that bad?
Dirge of Cerberus.
Oh
yeah. Someone earlier was mentioning about how we were thanked in the DF Retro Final Fantasy VII episode that came out today.
Yeah.
And you captured Dirge of Cerberus, and I was able to. Oh, look, they're falling in slow motion.
Yeah, I turned on the slow mochi.
That's awesome. And John was able to use my childhood, or not my childhood, really, at that point.
Your original.
My original save file, which was like a near end game save file. And also, I shot the stuff about the Final Fantasy VI 3D demo that was from Game Fan.
So this was a game that that me and my friend played back in the day. We like to call it, How High Can That Guy Fly?
So JLF is saying, Mary F. Kill, Natalia, Xenia, and Oddjob. Hang on. Isn't Xenia on the top? Isn't it Famke Janssen?
I think that's her actress's name. I don't know what else she's in.
She's in X-Men movies.
Oh yeah, she's what's her face? The shapeshifter?
No, she's Jean Grey.
Oh yeah.
They probably go in that order.
Okay, get ready. Get ready. I know, Sandy. It was great.
That's one thing that I don't really do out loud anymore. Is like make explosion sounds in my mouth.
Right?
You got this taser?
Yeah, it's my taser boy. Oh my god! My taser put a giant bullet hole in that guy's head. Sadie's barking at them. Oh man. This game just like, you know, I played a fair bit of GoldenEye multiplayer, but it was really Perfect Dark that me and my friends got much more into for the multiplayer. But it was just like, it was just this kind of dumb stuff.
Oh yeah.
But like, it was just goofing off on single player missions that just like had me playing this game all the time. Like this and Mario 64, like were just like infinitely replayable to me.
Well, it's so playable, like especially if you have someone else around, because you just try to make the game do things that it's not supposed to do.
Right.
I mean, that's how it was. Like my friend Justin and I. That's what we would do in the first Halo, where like there's like towards the end of the game there's a level called Assault on the Control Room, where you get the flying banshees, and we would try to fly it inside the structures, and we'd get it like jammed in there, and it would kind of glitch and start shaking really fast, and we'd just be up like half the night trying to see how far into we were up half the night trying to put the banshee where it don't belong.
No, I mean, we did stuff like crawling races in Mario 64. like I wouldn't like bring my N64 to his house, but like we'd like get on the phone and like be like, okay, like, oh, I'm almost to the top of Babam Battlefield now. I'm using the tank shells right now without the tank. So they're just like coming out of me. Like another thing that I would randomly do is I would just spend like a Saturday afternoon just like, because I didn't understand like how the Game Shark worked. And GoldenEye was like the newest game I had that actually worked with the Game Shark, because like anything released in like late 97 onwards didn't work with my Game Shark. And so I would just like enter random just letters and numbers and see what it did. And I remember like getting some wild colors and things.
Is this the most powerful weapon in the game right here?
What?
The watch laser.
Well, I turned I'm on 007 mode, which lets you set enemy damage and health on a slider. So, like, literally anything that I do kills him in one hit.
Too bad you can't just like spawn enemies.
What's interesting about Bond's hand is
I got real close to his face.
what's interesting about his hand is it's not totally flat. Like, you can see, like, on his left hand there, you can see, like, his thumb, like, as it moves, like, you can see it. Like, there is, like, perspective and depth to it. It's not just a flat thing, but it almost, like, it looks so real, kind of, that it almost looks like it's just an image.
I bet you that when this came out, you thought it was real.
It looks kind of
every time you talk about the N64, like through your child eyes, you as a kid, your kid's eyes is always like, I could not believe what I was seeing. What I was seeing was real.
I couldn't believe that, like, technology this powerful was, like, allowed into the hands of the common folk. like the difference in what you could do with this compared to Super Nintendo was just, like, so mind-boggling to me. That, like this the level of advancement that this is just, like, it's insane.
We had a $5 donation from Jonathan G saying, one thing I'm sure of is that my generation spent more time talking to my friends' moms, asking them to come on the phone than any other feature one will.
Yep. That is very true. And, like, we're probably the last generation will actually have our friends' phone numbers memorized.
Yeah. We also had $3 from RC. Thank you. Hopefully if you're able to get that 100 refunded. I'm not sure how you do it, but hopefully it is an easy thing for you to do.
But yeah, I mean, I talked to my friends on the phone a lot back then. I mean,
yeah. I remember how big of a deal it was when you got, like, at least when we got call waiting, because then you didn't have to feel like you were tying up the phone lines anymore.
Oh, we never got that. We only had one line.
A call waiting is like you had to turn it off. Like you hit down on the like on the hang up thing. Let's click over to it. The line.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I called my friends all the time about homework, about video games, you know, whatever. I mean, it was nowadays, like, you don't just call your friend, you know?
No, well, now it's like people actively avoid trying to talk with their voice to other people on the phone. Rather just text.
I resisted texting for a long time. Let me grab something else to pop in the N64 for a few minutes.
All right. Oh yeah, it would knock the modem off, I guess. Is anybody in the chat from a time when AOL didn't have a certain number, when you had a certain number of hours a month instead of just like $20 to use as much as unlimited use? And how quickly did you go over that allotted time? I mean, I remember when I first got AOL, and it was like 50 hours, and you use 50 hours and like the first like 4 days or something like that, and then you get charged by the hour, and it turns out to be like hundreds of dollars.
I wasn't sure if this N64 was modded for Japanese carts, but I just experimented and it was. Actually, you know what? I put in the Rumble Pack, but I don't think this is the Rumble Pack. Do I have the Rumble Pack version? I don't think I have the Rumble Pack version of this, actually.
No one just said this was Rumble Pack.
No, I don't think this is the Rumble Pack version. I don't think it is. The voice sounds so weird to me. The announcer voice.
I remember when you like I found out that you could pay like a different internet provider and then connect through AOL, like not having to connect. I'm just mentioned to the chat. I'm talking about this. I was talking about AOL when that there, and I remember it like blew me away that I didn't have to actually like dial up to AOL. I remember the company, it was run like, it was just like this ISP that was run out of somebody's house back in like 1996. And then I wonder if they're still around, or they probably got bought out by somebody. But at the time they were called Modem Madness. Or Mad BBS, they'd call themselves. Modem Madness BBS. Let's look it up. 3, 2, 1. Important news. Closing announcement on Friday, January 16th, 2009.
Oh man. It lasted a while, I guess.
Yep. Look at due to changes in the internet business over the past few years, Modem Madness was forced to shut down after nearly 20 years of providing internet access service in the Jamestown area. While we're all deeply saddened by this decision, this was simply nothing left for independent providers to be able to offer between FCC legalized monopolies, the phone and cable companies. Modem Madness recommends NetSync IP. Modem Madness forever. You go to madbbs.com.
Yeah, I don't think I've got the Rumble version of this. Of course, if I wanted, I could load it up on the 64 drive, but that's no fun. I got this for 108 yen at a book off. This is one of the first things I bought in Japan. Because I was just like, I can't say no to the Japanese version of Wavery 64 for 108 bucks. Or 108 bucks, 108 yen. It was so interesting. It's so interesting because the Japanese voice, when it says it's very well spoken, but it's just like so much slower than the English version. So she's like, "Welcome to Sunset Bay." Like she's doing very good English, but you can tell that she's just like, you know, being cautious with it and taking her time, you know, really saying it right.
Oh, here. Someone in our Discord found your Donkey Kong Country rant on triforce.blogspot.com.
Oh, so it was on there.
Why the DK trilogy is platforming plus and how Retro missed the point.
You want to read a little bit of it out loud?
Yeah, I feel bad that I blogged for the first time in over a year and a half to say something partially negative.
Partially.
I try to look for the good first. Some game designer thought their thought their feature, mechanic, whatever was a good idea. So I try to look at games from that perspective. Sometimes the game's appeal is completely lost on me. But I'm one of the rare people like nearly every single Final Fantasy game, so I can handle it when games throw different ideas my way. People are too quick to classify well-made games as garbage, never trying to adjust their expectations or wonder why the game is designed the way it is. This is why I feel bad that, try as I might, I couldn't enjoy Donkey Kong Country Returns, a technically sound platformer from a development studio that I have tremendous respect for. To say that this post is only partially negative because it is also a celebration of just why the Donkey Kong Country trilogy is so dang great. Just kind of thinking on it, I identify three elements to define Donkey Kong Country's gameplay: control mechanics, level layout with a strong emphasis on deliberate item and enemy placement, and level gimmicks. When Retro Studios did their research for Donkey Kong Country Returns, they either completely missed these points or believed they were not important, because if Donkey Kong Country Returns is supposed to be a true sequel, it utterly fails at implementing these elements.
It's true. It's true. You can call it a masterpiece if you want, but they did not get those aspects right. Tropical Freeze is a lot better, I will say that. But Donkey Kong Country, it ain't. It is a lot better.
Before that, it was November 24th, 2010. Did you beat the game before you wrote that, or just like
I did, yeah.
Donkey Kong Country Returns is not a throwback to Donkey Kong Country. If anything, it's just a throwback to difficult 2D platformers with little added destructive flair. Can't say it's a bad game. Actually, it's really solid, but I found it impossible to reconcile with it not being what I expected it to be.
I found like the collapsing levels and stuff like that to be kind of obnoxious. I mean, that kind of thing can be cool, but I just found it visually difficult to read.
RC, like you're a member on here. It should be automatically synced if you connect your Discord to your account on here. Like maybe it'll happen. I mean, it should.
Sean Quinn says 25-year-old try was tough to please. It's so funny to think I was 25 when that game came out.
Yeah. Before that, you wrote about Resident Evil 5,
which I loved.
What I didn't like so much is people who bash RE5 as outdated. Because of the facts of the matter is there are people who prefer this kind of shooter. Try to see what's enjoyable about it before you just bash its controls.
Yeah, that was a period of time where people were so into like Gears of War, and the simple fact that you couldn't, like, it's so
move and shoot at the same time.
It's so interesting to me that in the relatively few years following Resident Evil 4's release and then Resident Evil 5, like in that span of time, it became unacceptable to not be able to move and shoot at the same time.
Did Dead Space come out before it, or was that right after?
I think Dead Space was probably first.
I feel like that's probably the thing that really is the reason for it.
But like, it just was so baffling to me because, like, okay, these games have implemented move and shoot, but like, why does the fact that these other games do it mean all games have to do it? Like, it's, I still think it is interesting to take a stop and pop approach to a shooter. Now, who does it nowadays? No one. Even Resident Evil has moved on to being able to move and shoot. And I won't deny that, you know, I was against it for a long time, but, you know, hey, it works. Resident Evil, you know, 2 and 3 remakes are great playing games, but I sure think that if you're going for some degree of realism or horror as things are approaching you, like there's nothing like, I mean, you know, I've never fired a gun outside of a BB gun in my life. So, hey, I don't know much about shooting guns, but like I imagine that standard protocol is you mostly stand still while you're shooting a gun if you want to actually hit your target. You know, right?
Yeah.
So, like, it makes sense. So I don't understand why all of a sudden video games aren't allowed to explore that, because Gears of War and Dead Space let you move and shoot. Why is that not allowed to be part of the game mechanics anymore? I mean, I'm not bitter about it anymore, but I was definitely I was definitely annoyed by it at the time, but like, hey, okay, I accept it. No one makes games like that anymore. But I would not be opposed to a future Resident Evil game having, you know, having a stop to shoot, can't walk while shooting mechanic again. Of course, it wouldn't happen because people would complain, but I'd be fine with it. I'm fine with what they're doing now, but I'd be... I don't think it's automatically bad. I just think it's just a different way to present shooting that is honestly pretty realistic.
Yeah, and this is coming from a game that has a guy punching a boulder.
Man, Chris Redfield is never going to be that good again.
I know.
Same thing with Leon. He's never going to be as good as he was in 4. Huh?
You refer to him as Hulk Chris.
Hulk Chris, yeah. I mean, even though Resident Evil 6 kept the same design for Chris, like he was never as ridiculous in that as he was in 5. I mean, and Resident Evil 4, like if they're doing a remake of Resident Evil 4, like I know they're not going to use the same Leon. You know, I don't know if they'll reuse the script, but like the writing in that game and Leon's actor was just like B-movie gold. I mean, Leon is so funny in that game. In a very B-movie kind of way, you know. It was... Leon has never been that entertaining since. Like, he just like... He has like the best comebacks and one-liners. It's great. It's great. It's cheesy, but it's great.
Right. I mean, it's clear that they, you know...
I mean, Shinji Mikami knows how, like, he is a master at straddling the line of B-movies. Like, he makes it feel like a B-movie without it being just like, you know, total just like cheesy garbage, but like it's hard to explain because it is cheesy, but it's like he straddles the line very nicely. That's all I can say.
Well, your blog spot's not very long. I mean, you have a very extensive post on Dragon Quest IV.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. All the things you sort everything by like what I loved, what's all right, and what I didn't like so much. And you always end it with, and that, as they say, is that.
Oh yeah, that was Oh, what was that based on? That was based on something. That was based on a voice clip in some game. Oh, what was it? It's this British guy who goes, and that, as they say, is that. Oh, what game? Come on, people, help me out. What game is that from?
I have no idea.
What is it from? Oh, Paul Bergkamp knows what I'm talking about. Oh, it's the guy in Final Fantasy X. The like the storyteller guy.
Oh, okay.
And then, like at the end of like he would tell you about like the history of whatever region you were in, and then at the end he would go, and that, as they say, is that.
I do remember. Man, that's a game I should replay too. I wish I had all this. I wish I had unlimited time.
I know, right? I know.
Can you imagine if like you could stop time to do all the stuff you wanted to do and make it restart?
Oh,
you wanted.
Congratulations!
Oh, we got a Windows XP Professional Service Pack 2 in the chat.
Oh wow.
Good they have you here.
Man, I don't know what difficulty I was playing on, but I'm pretty impressed. I managed to get to the end because I remember this game. You know, took me a little time to
get to move up to the next class.
To get first place. Too bad I don't have the Rumble Pack version though. I need to get that sometime. Man, the music in this game is so good too. This game is just, I can play it anytime. And the thing that I always like to point out about me and how much I like this game, I played very little of this game back in the day. A friend of mine rented it. I don't think he owned it, but he might have. But we did not play it much. And I came close to buying it at one point, but didn't. I got this, I finally bought this game probably like 2006 or 7. So this was like end of the N64 generation, or into the GameCube generation. So it was a generation removed. And I was just so struck by just how good it feels and how easy it is to just pick up and play anytime. And I always like to say that is not nostalgia driven. This wasn't a launch title, but it was a launch window. I want to say it maybe came out in like October. I mean, it's a miracle that this game, you know, is what it is as early as it was in the system's life. It is absolutely crazy. Yeah, I came to love, I mean, I liked this game, but came to love it, you know, almost an entire generation or more later. So that just is a testament to its quality.
There was a $2 donation from JLF saying, shout out to Tony Mac and Z. Now extra.
Such a good game. I like Blue Storm too. It's not, it's a little more technical. So it's not as easy to just pick up and play, but it's very good.
Well, we didn't have any problems with the the stream dying after a while there. They worked it out.
Yeah, I'm convinced it was YouTube because those were very good numbers for me, like 90.
Yeah.
Over 90 download and almost 20 upload. So We got $2 from Joshua Helmke asking, have you been able to unlock the dolphin? Isn't it just a code?
Keep going. How'd you do that? Checkpoint clear.
If not, there is a way to earn it, I definitely know there is a code though. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember what the code is though.
Wave race.
I don't know if it'd be the same thing as the Japanese version. I don't even know where I would enter codes on here. I have the English version too. Oh, look at this. It's a data backup, I guess. I don't remember that. Wave race. They sound so different. Wave race. Like they're just much slower and more deliberate in how they talk.
Wave race.
Well, you want to play anything else, or you are ready to wrap it up?
I guess that's a good note to end it on. It's finishing a round of Wave Race 64.
Sounds good. I'm gonna do do an editing stream on the Twitch for the next several days.
Oh, okay. Keep you focused.
Keep me focused.
3, 2.
Sounds like
You're moving back and forth between shooting B-roll and editing video tomorrow.
all right. Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
So yeah, look for that episode this week.
Yep.
And then, in the days following, look for that Final Fantasy VII Remake thing. Watch it if you've beaten Final Fantasy VII Remake or don't care about spoilers in the remake. I mean, you could probably watch like the first quarter of it.
I don't know yet. I have no idea how it's gonna come together.
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I barely remember the conversation.
It was fun, though.
But we had a $5 donation from John DiLoretto saying, "Are you guys gonna to do a video about the final batch of NT minis?"
I seriously doubt we're gonna be able to get one.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not expect there to be anything meaningfully different about it. I mean, it would be neat if there were, but I think people are setting themselves up for disappointment if they think there's going to be something different.
Who knows? I mean, I'll be curious to see if it's if there is something different, if it's backwards ported to the old version.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. There's also a $2 donation from Tony from JLF saying Tony Mac and Z prefers composite video.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
There's a time and place for that. There's a look to it that I enjoy looking at every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
It is nostalgic. All right, well, until that video releases and until next Sunday.
And that's gonna do it.
And
all right.
that, as they say, is what.